Friday. Nico, AJ, and I went to see Barbie at 4:10 and Oppenheimer at 7:20. While I could be giving a movie review on both Barbie and Oppenheimer, I figured it would be better if I would tell you guys about my experience that I had. This will have spoilers from Oppenheimer. It won't have any from Barbie, so if you haven't seen Barbie yet, you can watch this video just fine. There will be a couple spoilers from Oppenheimer. So we get there around 7 o'clock. Nico, AJ, and I sat in D2, D3, and D4, and seats D1 through D5 were open, so we figured we would get those 3 seats and have 1 seat open on either side of us because we're dickheads and we don't like people sitting next to us in theaters. We didn't think we'd be splitting anyone up. We figured that a group of 2 would see the seats and be like, oh, well, we'll just come back another time. It wasn't the case. So we're sitting down, movie starts in about 3 minutes, and some older gentleman between 65 and 75, weighing in at about 325 pounds, I'd say, comes up with his friend, and his friend goes behind, in the row behind, and he looks at D1 and says, oh, watch out there, bud. So I move my jacket and bag of popcorn out of the empty seat into my lap, and I glance over at Nico thinking, son of a bitch. So the guy sits down. Plenty of bodily noises and little grunts. So I'm thinking, son of a bitch, here we go. This is great. Because of course I'm in D2. Right around that time, there was a trailer for The Exorcist, which looks absolutely awful. It looks like the most generic paranormal movie. And Nico must have shared the same opinion, because after the trailer ended, he said, yeah, I don't know about that one. In the middle of the theater, kind of like that one TikTok trend. And then the old guy next to me goes like, so I'm thinking, all right, this guy's kind of silly. He's laughing at Nico's jokes. He's not like an annoying old person that hates everyone and everything. Then about 5 minutes into the movie starting, I hear along with a soda cracking open. Guy's munching on M&Ms like it's the Last Supper, and he's just horking these M&Ms down. He ate them in about 2 minutes. It was a good pack. It was like a regular sized pack of M&Ms too. The roller coaster of emotions I was feeling about this guy started to take a little dip. Then, about 35 minutes in, I'd say, I don't know, Cillian Murphy and Florence Pugh are flirting, and then it just out of nowhere cuts to them absolutely. I knew it was rated R, but I didn't think the reason that it was rated R was for Florence's pews. I thought it was for a bomb eviscerating someone's face. I did not expect to see any boobies. So it cuts to them absolutely going ham on each other. Her on top. For any of the note takers watching this video, she was on top. It was about 7.5 seconds. But they were porking. The old guy next to me, the second it starts happening, goes like, nice. And then the movie goes by, you know, the rest of the stuff happens, the explosion and all that. Also, I can't believe the quote, now I am become death. The scene where the quote was said by him happened while she was on top of him with a book covering up her tits. So I thought that was kind of a lame way to reveal the quote. I mean, maybe it's canon, maybe it's lore accurate, maybe in real life when Jean was actually riding Oppenheimer like a horse, maybe that's when it was said for the first time, who knows? But it wasn't in black and white. If you don't know, the movie cuts to black and white whenever it's based off of a scene that actually happened, so it cuts between black and white and in color. It wasn't in black and white, so obviously this is something that Christopher Nolan thought, yeah, that'd be nice. So the movie ends, and AJ, who, no disrespect to AJ, he thought this movie was boring. He immediately, when the movie ended, saying, the movie could have been way shorter, Barbie cleared. And the old guy on my left says, I don't think it was long enough. I kind of like chuckle with him, you know, it was like a funny little quip he said. And AJ and Nico keep talking about the length. And I hear him start to talk again, so I look over, hear what he has to say. I look over and he's looking at me dead in my eyes saying, I lived through most of that. It was like the most uncomfortable I've ever felt. It was just him and I in that moment for eternity. Him just staring at me, saying, I lived through most of that. Locking eyes. So I kind of go like, yeah. Then AJ keeps talking about the movie, and he says something that must have got this guy a little more riled up, because he said, it's not about Oppenheimer. It's about you and this generation. You're destroying the world, and this is about you trying to stop it. Fucking boomers. I just try to agree with the guy, just try to like diffuse the uncomfortableness of the situation. I go like, yeah. And the guy's just sitting there in his seat like. So then we leave. That dude did not like AJ. I was trying to just keep the conversation going with him, to try to like keep him from starting an argument with AJ. But no, I think Oppenheimer was an 8 out of 10. It's gonna get all the Oscars in the world. RDJ and Cillian Murphy acted their asses off. Everyone else was a solid performance as well. I might review Barbie at a later point, but we'll see about that. I just figured I should tell you about my experience and the moment I lived in for what felt like hours with Oppenheimer. Good movie though. That moment where I just looked into some old man's eyes as he told me that he lived through this. This was his endgame. According to Nico and AJ, this was his endgame. Are you serious right now? I guess I can talk while a Barbie ad happens. Hey, you guys don't know how to skip ads? You click info, then you click stop seeing. And then you just do that, and then it just gets rid of the ad for you. I'm posting this on YouTube too. That'll be nice. This dude probably didn't even live through that either. I mean, it was 80 years ago, and there's no way that guy was 80. He looked like late 60s, early 70s. I'm not sure if what he meant was like the death of Oppenheimer or maybe like the Soviets, but no, World War II, Hiroshima, he did not live through that. There's no way. Anyway, I digress. We just hit 0.000312 million subscribers, by the way. So if you want to join that, please help me get to 313.